welcome back to Musings by Nikki. I'm here today to start working on some stuff for my nature journal that we're gonna work through. And I asked you guys yesterday, in yesterday's video, well, I'm filming ahead, so I asked you guys in the video how much of or little of this process were you interested in, and I haven't read your responses yet because this hasn't actually been posted yet. So anyway, I look forward to hearing what you have to say about how much of this you want to do. But I thought, first of all, we'll do just some pocket pages that I like to put in books. So these are my signatures, and I've got, you know, my papers and the papers from the kit and everything in here. And then I like to put different kinds of pockets and everything. And I thought I'd just take you along on how I do my pocket pages. So that's like this, right? With the whole pocket here. And it's, you know, pretty self-explanatory, but I thought if we're gonna do this thing top to bottom, I'll just show you all the things I do. So these are from a paper pad, a 12 by 12 paper pad that works so great with this kit. And I've cut them down to size, but instead of making them like 10 by 7, so they fold into 5 by 7s, I've made them 10 by 10 squares. So these are 10 by 10 squares here, right? Because I'm going to take 3 inches and fold it up. So we'll do that to this one. And then I also just wanted to show you, in case you don't know this trick, these papers are white on the back. So I have some paper pads, of course, that are double-sided, and then you get some that are white on the back. But, you know, bright white won't go with all of the coffee-stained kind of, you know, vintage look to the papers in this kit and stuff. So to kind of dirty them up a little bit, this is not my trick. I will not take credit for this, and I'm sure most of you have seen this, but in case you haven't, this is for those of you who might not have heard this. This is an old like blush brush, and you just tap it on your ink pad, and there you go. Look at that. And you'll end up with some spots that are a little bit darker, and depending on what color ink you use, you know, like if you're using a darker ink or something, you'll end up with a few that are uneven a little bit, but I kind of like that look, that like slightly mottled look, because I just kind of like the way that makes it look a little more vintagey. Like coffee staining is not always even, you know. So this is my example one, and I've sewed some pockets onto the front of it, and then I like to put some sort of trim or something on there. So let me show you how we did that. First I fold it up, right? So now for my book, I need 10 by 7. So like I said, I cut this into 10 by 10, and I fold the bottom third up. So this one, same thing. So I'm gonna go down to my board here. Oh, yep, just in shot, good. I'm gonna line it up here, and then I'm gonna go, I need to fold and have the bottom fold at or above the 7. I'm trying to make my fold even. There we go. So now, when I take that bottom 3 inches and fold it over, I get a page that's 10 by 7. So I'm going to put that crease in there real good. The more you know, you can crease things like this, that'll take the bulk down a little bit in your book. And anything I can do to take the bulk down is a good thing. So on this one, you can see, can you see? Yeah, I did some leaf stitching over that ribbon, which you can kind of barely see, the leaf stitching. But this, before you sew the ends shut to make the pocket, like an actual pocket, it's your opportunity to sew on any sort of pockets that you want to put on here, or if you want to do, you know, any embellishments you want to sew that stuff on. If you're going to sew it, if you're going to glue it, you can glue it whenever you want to. But now's the time to sew anything on. And this is when I like to, you know, you can put some lace across there if you want to sew that on, or like sari silk. I think I'm going to put a piece of sari silk. I'm going to sew a piece of sari silk across here. I brought out some of my leaf trim, so I might do some of that across there. I've got this one. I might do this with some of this across it, actually. I kind of like that look. So I'm going to cut that down. Okay. Let me move the rest of that out of the way a little. And it's just easier to do this, you know, before you close anything up. Because, there. So I'm going to do those, and I'll sew them off camera real quick in a second here. But let me see if yeah, so see, I like that. That just makes the top edge of your pocket so much more exciting than this, you know. But I am going to run a little bit of ink down it just in case you see it, because I probably won't sew my ribbon right up next to it. All right, and then let's see if we want to put any pockets, anything on here, how wide this is. That's the other thing, depending on, I mean, you can make these pockets as deep as you want to, or, you know, you can make them the whole page if you had a big enough piece, or real high, you can put little thumb notches in them. You can do all kinds of things with these folded up pages. But it's nice. It's a nice big pocket that goes like the whole width of the page. So, you know, I'm looking at this and I'm going, it's kind of wide, and I don't know how much pocket I could get that I could actually stick something in. So I might just do some embellishments or like a cluster on this one. So I'll probably sew that one as is. So I'll put that over in my sewing pile. And then here's my other one. And I've got the sari silk, which the sari silk is all like wrinkly, but I kind of unwrinkle it as I go, or at least try. So I'll probably sew some of that along the top edge, but that'll crinkle back up a little. So I've got room to put a pocket here. So let's look in my little pile of kit pieces here. These are like journal cards. But I feel like, yeah, there were postcards. Is that gonna still be, yeah, that's still gonna be too high. Oh, you know what I could do? We could put a vellum on here. Hold on. I just put some away. Right back here. We could put vellum on there, and then we could like slide a card in, make a side pocket. That'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it? So do I want to cover the whole pocket? No, I don't want to do that, but I am going to use this to, let's see, cut along as my measure, as my guide. Do you guys all go in streaks where you like forget about one kind of supply? Like you have one kind of supply that you get on top of it and you're using it all the time and you get all geeked out about it, and then all of a sudden you just kind of forget about it, and then you pick it up, you see someone else use it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, vellum. That's kind of me. Okay. All right. So now I'm just going to cut down maybe like that, and then I'm going to put one on the other side too. And then, let's see, should we like put a thumb notch in them or something? Probably. Sorry, I needed coffee before I could thumb notch. Okay. Sorry guys, this is why I usually, like if I'm not trying to film, I usually get out my paper cutter, but it's so clunky sometimes. I should resurrect my smaller one for like filming. That would be a smart thing. And you know, I don't always do the smart thing. Okay, now I feel like these need ink because otherwise you're not going to see them at all. And I'm not, so far, this project, I've been sewing with just like a white thread, not an off-white, it's like an off-white thread. So I think I'll stick with that, but it doesn't help define anything. You don't, like, it doesn't help define it. And I might switch in the middle, who knows. Sometimes I use multiple colors of thread, and sometimes I try to stay cohesive. Whatever fancy strikes me at the time, I suppose. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is yeah, so I think I'll sew them. I'm going to just sew the bottom edge and up the back, and then the bottom edge and up the back, because I'll catch the top edge when I sew this on. Does that make sense? I hope so. I'm gonna go do that, and then I'll be right back and I'll show you my 2 sewn pages, okay? Okay guys, here we are. This is what it looks like. I'm just gonna cut a few strings off here as I talk. I have sewn around these envelopes, pockets, whatever you want to call them, and put this across the top. I'm gonna trim that, sorry, right off the edge there, straight. And then over here, I sewed on the trims and the ribbon, which I really like how that looks. And we're gonna trim that off the end, but we'll save that for snippets because I think I want to make some snippets. I haven't made any little, not snippets, but little clusters for this book. I haven't done any cluster for a while. Okay, so these have little pockets. So hopefully these will, oh, perfect, will fit in there. Yeah, so some little pieces of ephemera from the kit will fit right in there, which is nice. And then you can see it through there because vellum. Look at that, that's so cute. Okay, now the last thing is I had to put a fold into this one already because I needed to know like where to bring the edges of these together. But the last thing you need to do is sew up the sides to sew up the pockets. So you can either choose to just sew up the side here or glue the side shut if you're not sewing. All this can be done without sewing, you know, you can glue everything on too. So then you just need to glue it. And then you don't need to, I typically don't sew down the middle part because when you fold it, it just automatically creates, you know, the barrier to stop anything from going. And then you keep it kind of as wide as maximum, like the maximum width, so that you can still get stuff in here, thicker, bigger things in. So a lot of times I just sew up this whole side though. So I'm gonna go do that and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, I have now sewn up the sides of both the pockets. So all that's left is to fold them in half, and you can go either way with these. This one I just put in a fold like this earlier to kind of rough crease it, like I said, so I could see where to put my pockets. And I'm going to give it a real good burnish down. So there's that, and then this one I think I'll go this way with. I'll just show you the other way. And then depending on how thick your paper is, and this is like cardstock weight, so this is fairly thick. Sometimes you need a little extra zhuzhing down here to get it to fold right. But it went. Oops. Forgot to put my phone on silent. Okay, so there is that pocket, and like I said, I'll probably come back later at some point and put a little cluster here and there, and this one and this one. Okay, so let's put them in our signatures so we can see what they look like in a signature. So I made 3 because I've got 3 signatures. I'm going to flip open to a random point and put it in. Nice. I like that. And see, now it creates this really big pocket here. So like I had grabbed out some of my field notes cards. That'll fit perfect in there. You can fit bigger things in there. Like you can put a whole envelope, or you can put kind of a variety of things. Or if you're making a, these are great if you're making like a fairly blank book. And you want people to be able to like journal, you know, really like writing journals or memory keeping. This is a good place that you can put, like, stick photos in, or like the program from your daughter's dance recital or something. So it's kind of nice. It provides a larger pocket to put things into. So let's find a place for this one. Whoops, I just smacked the camera. All right. Yep, I like it there. And aren't those papers so pretty? I really like this kit. Let's go, where was I just a second ago? Let's go there. Did I just smack the camera again? I'm getting wily. Yeah. So, okay. And it doesn't bulk anything up too terribly much. Like I said, you can make them with thinner paper, is usually a smarter thing. These, for some reason, I made out of a real thick, oh, thought my bracelet was trying to tell me something. I made those out of a really thick thing. So anyway, there we go, guys. That is how I make those. And then the other thing I was going to show you today, and that I'm just going to work on, is like at the beginning here, I want to make some, so these are all the offcuts from that paper pad, right? So cutting it down, I have bigger pieces here, which I can cut tags out of, or make pockets or flip outs or that sort of thing. I might make a few like little envelopes or file folders or something. We'll see. And then I've got the skinnier ones, and I want to make a couple into belly bands. But then I was thinking, I was watching Gail Agostinelli, and she was, you know, putting her, she was using, I think, I forget, you know how videos just roll and then you're not paying attention. So I think it was either that she was like using up 6x6 or 8x8 papers or something. But she made kind of a Franken page and then cut tags out of it. And I was like, yeah, since these papers all like coordinate fairly well, because of course they came out of the same paper pad, I thought, I wonder if I can glue some of these down and make like a tag base basically that I could, or a thing that I could cut tags out of, and then have some like Franken tags. So I just so happen to have this ginormous piece of coffee stained paper. I don't even know how big this is. This is, gotta go down to this one here. I'm gonna guess it's like 11 by 17 is probably what this is. You know, the big paper, yeah, 11 by 17. So I thought what I could do is, these are the shorter ones, so I'm going to save these few shorter ones to like make belly bands. But these longer scraps, I thought we could kind of arrange them and glue them down, and that way they're already backed with coffee stained paper too, which is awesome. Okay, so then my only thing is, though, I'll probably cut the tags this way, and then I've got sideways birds. Do I do that? I don't know. We'll leave the birds out for now. Because like sideways flowers is one thing. That I don't mind so much, but maybe it needs another black and white here. And then some more green. Oh, and that pretty red. Isn't that a pretty paper? And that one. Okay, yeah. So there, I'll just save the birds because maybe they can become a belly band or something. It's pretty paper. I love that paper. Isn't it so pretty? That's so pretty. But I don't want sideways birds because that'd be weird. So I think this is like a glue stick type project. I'm going to put these in order here. and then glue this down. I'm not even gonna ink around them. Actually, because they're longer than the paper, I think I'll glue stick on the paper. And then my thought is probably, because I'm not gonna like, I'm glue sticking them and I'm not gonna spend the time to get them super uber well glued down. I'm just gonna glue all over the place apparently. Since I'm not spending the time to get them super well glued down, I'll probably sew around the tags once I cut them. And then also the reason why I just glued onto, I'm going to try and align this first one so that I don't get really wonky later on, even though I'm sure I'm going to get wonky. The reason why I just glued onto both the bottom and top sheet is because if you have equal amounts of glue or glue on both the top and bottom, you get less warping. Oops, I was supposed to go top to bottom. Not that it matters that much. So if the sheet that you're gluing to the other sheet has glue on it as well, then you get less warping. Even though, like, once I'm done with this, I'll probably put it under a heavy book or something for a while to dry. Don't you love how there's all this science-y stuff about crafting, though, that we can use in our crafting? Who knew? Like, the trick with the glue bottles, there's something about disbursement of air, whatever, blah, 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 and that's what makes it so you don't get the gloobers. Who knew? Somebody who's an engineer could probably explain it to us, but I just know it works. Okay. I really like this. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how this ends up. Seeing how these tags work. Oh, logging truck. The wind has finally died down, you guys. If you've watched my last few videos, you've seen that there's been just some insane wind. But, as per usual, the wind blew through and brought us a system. And now we have, the bottom fell out. Now it was like -11 this morning. Which is nothing. It can get way colder here, but that's usually what happens. If it's windy one day, it usually means it's bringing us a clear sky and cold weather. And today we have to drive. Joy has another game. Did I tell you all about her first game? Where her coach just yelled her name? I don't know if I told you guys that story or not. This is the problem with making so many videos lately. I'm totally loving it, but I forget what stories I've told you. So Joy, our youngest, 13, and she plays volleyball is like her main sport that she loves. Volleyball and dance. But they don't have dance line here because we're, you know, in small town USA and not enough kids to play all the sports. So you have to kind of pick and choose. When you're a small school, you have to pick and choose what seems to be the stuff that most kids are interested in. And so, you know, dance line is a more specialized thing for larger schools. So they don't have it. But they do have volleyball, thank goodness, because that's her jam. So she played that this fall, which was great. The girls on the team are super nice, and the coaches were awesome, and she really had fun. So that was good. And then this winter, they shut down, so Minnesota shut down youth sports again because, you know, COVID and whatever. But then, as with volleyball, there was kind of like an on-the-fly decision late in the game that like, oh wait, we can have basketball, but all the kids need to wear masks. You guys, they have to wear masks while they're playing basketball. Do you know how much running you do in basketball? These poor kiddos are like, and they have to take them out of the game on a more regular basis because they need breathing breaks, like literally breathing breaks, because they're trying to breathe through masks. Anyway, that's enough about that. But at least they can play, right? And so her friends that played on volleyball, now again, this is a very small school, like to give you some context, Joy's in 8th grade. And so I think if she were going to the school instead of doing online school, I think there would be like 16 kids in her whole 8th grade class. Not just her English class, like all of the 8th graders, 16 kids. That's how small. Whoops. Jeez. One of my niece's graduating classes was 7 seniors. So small town. See how this isn't warping so much? That put glue on both sides thing? There's something to it, especially with glue sticking, because this is fairly flat, right? I'm just gonna do a little more smoothing here. Get it good and smooth and smashed down. So anyway, so they, they're now all of a sudden they can play basketball, but it's already past when the season would normally start. They're quick kind of scrambling to get a team together and coaching and all that stuff. I'm gonna just go down here. So her friends were like, Joy has never played basketball ever in her whole life. And except for, save for school gym or something like that, where she maybe got to play, you dribble the basket for gym class or something. We'll save all these little things because we can put them in clusters. They can go in clusters, except all this little paper trimmed off that I got with them. So she's never played basketball a day in her life, but her friends are like, Joy, you should come play basketball with us, because all the volleyball girls go play basketball because it's what you do. It's something to do. So Joy, who's never played a day in her life, is like, I'll give it a shot. So she decided to go play basketball. And here we go, guys. Look at this one big, I really like this. What am I good? I hope, like it won't make tags out of it, but it's really fun. Like it looks really pretty. It's fun to run my hand over. Yeah, so I think I'll let this dry and then I'll cut some, just some tag bases, or maybe even, this is big enough that I can make some like pockets and stuff out of it too, I suppose. Yeah. So anyway, once this is all the way dry, because I put so much glue on there, I can feel that it's still kind of like damp. But yeah. Okay. So, anyway, so Joy's playing volleyball now, or basketball now. More to come on that. But anyway, she's got a game tonight. We got to drive. So nice and cold, great day for a drive. The wind, everything's a little icy from her, from all that wind. Okay. So I'm going to put that away, and we made our pockets, pocket pages. So this is going to just be a little shorter video today. If you're watching this and you didn't watch my previous video where I asked you guys how much or little of this book you want to see, then go over to that video or just comment down below here and let me know what your interest level is, how much of the, every little bit of the book do you want to see, building the cover, how I sew my signatures in, all that stuff. Let me know, because I think I'm going to do like a full book tutorial, or just not tutorial necessarily, because it's all stuff that's already been tutorialized. It's more just like a kind of craft along with me, how my process is from start to finish on like a hardcover book. So anyway, thanks for stopping by to see my little, page, my little folded up page pocket thing today. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next day or two. I think this will run on maybe Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. This is going to run up to probably Sunday. This will be. And so starting next week, we'll start working through little projects and stuff to put in here. So anyway, thanks guys. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, whatever time it is, on whatever side of this globe you are. And until I see you next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay crafty, stay peaceful, and be blessed, guys. God bless. All right, bye-bye.